In this video, I'm going to show you the top 10 most unstoppable money plays in Madden. If you want to win more Madden games, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for the best Madden strategy content on YouTube. To make any pro level offense, you need at least one money play that your opponent has to adjust to on every snap. This makes it so that you can dictate what coverages they can use, which allows all of your other plays to work 10 times better. So today, we're going to show you the top 10 most unstoppable plays in Madden, also known as money plays. The first play we're going to show you is cross wheels from the tight doubles formation that can be found in the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive playbook. Now, to run cross wheels, all you need to do is have your two wide receivers on the short side of the field always. Then you need to fade your two wide receiver side, middle receiver, and streak your running back. And the route combo looks like this. Now, this is by far the best zone beater in the game, in my opinion, simply because of how it spreads the field and all the different ways the routes manipulate zone coverage. For example, against cover 4 drop, which is a very common defense, if you look at the wheel route on the left side of the field, you will see that it'll be wide open right above the curl flat, oftentimes will have a blocker, and you'll get a gigantic gain. On top of that, if you're going against a cover 2 defense, you could throw that same wheel route for a gigantic gain. You just need a little bit more time. But if you're given that time, you could see it's always a touchdown. Now, versus a cover 3 defense, it'll work the exact same way as a cover 4 defense works. So if you want to, you just have to throw that wheel route as soon as it gets over the flat, right? And what you will see is it's wide open, oftentimes for an easy touchdown. However, we don't just want one route to be open on any of these money plays. And that's right, in this play, you'll see that the running back, the tight end, and the crosser also have a very high chance of getting open. So versus cover 2 and cover 4, you'll see that this crosser will be pretty wide open for an easy possession catch or aggressive catch beneath these safeties in pretty much any defense. On top of that, versus any defense, a cover 2, a cover 4, the tight end will also be open right beneath any cloud flats or curl flats as long as they don't have hard flats on the field. One of my favorite parts about cross wheels, particularly this setup, is that the running back streak is often a one-play score against cover 3 styles of defenses. So what you will notice is when I snap the ball, the crosser will pull the inside third, leaving the running back streak wide open for a 40+ yard gain and often a one-play touchdown. And that's why cross wheels is one of my favorite and one of the best money plays in Madden. The next play we're going to show you is double post from the bunch offset formation that can be found in the Indianapolis Colts and Philadelphia Eagles offensive playbooks. To run double post, you only need to make one hot route, and you need to ensure that your bunch is on the wide side of the field. And that hot route is to put your point man or your middle bunch receiver on a streak. The final route combo looks exactly like this. And it is by far the best cover 3 beater in Madden 24. And what you will see is when I snap the ball and you wait for that post route to cross the safety, it is wide open for an easy one-play touchdown versus cover 3. Now, versus a cover 2 defense, this post is still open, but there is a chance that it can be covered in the middle of the field. But nevertheless, you will see that you will have an opening to still throw it, but it's not as open as it is versus a cover 3 base defense. And then of course, a cover 4 defense on the other hand, it can actually still be thrown and it'll still be open. You just have to make a quick aggressive catch and you'll be able to cut right in front of the safety for an easy dot. However, that is our main read, and we can most often expect our opponent to user that route. I also want to show, before I get into that man coverage, although it should cover it, you'll see that this post route also beats man coverage, even when it's Patrick Surtain versus a 75 overall receiver like Khalil Shakir, it'll still beat the man coverage. But let's say that they user this post in a cover 2 style of defense. Let's just pretend that he's covered. you don't necessarily have to worry, because not only do you have this amazing instant flat route that you can throw, make a move, and get pretty much guaranteed 5 yards every single time, but you also have this in route on the running back that you can throw on the backside and also get 5 yards as a check down. So the user has to be constantly conscious of those routes. And then my favorite thing to do when someone is covering the post is I will actually drag the point man, and this makes it so that it doesn't bomb cover 3. However, if someone's consistently using the post route, you can just throw either drag or flat, and you're pretty much flooding the short part of the field. And if they don't have hard flats and 2 shaded down hook curls, you'll be able to throw that every single time. Now we're going to take a look at the play switch wide receiver drag in the tight Y off formation that can be found in the Pittsburgh Steelers and Green Bay Packers playbooks. To run switch wide receiver drag versus the most common defenses in cover 3 and cover 2, all you need to do is block your running back and streak your tight end. Now when I snap the ball, what you will notice is that the streak will hold the inside third, leaving this deep post route wide open for a 1-play touchdown. On top of that, if our opponent is in a cover 4 drop, we can use this exact same setup and throw our deep post again for an extremely easy 1-play score, where the defensive back is not even within 10 yards of our receiver. Versus a cover 2 style of defense, we want to run it just a little bit differently. Versus a cover 2 based defense, what we want to do is just block our running back. And if that's exactly what we do, you will see that the deep post will be open in between the 2 safeties, oftentimes for an easy possession catch, and you'll have that almost every time. Now, the next formation or the next play that people like running against this is, of course, man coverage. So let's say a cover 0 blitz just like this. So if I were to set it up, a cover 0 kind of looks like this and will mimic the user with a mid-read. But what you will see is that this deep post route, regardless of what routes you have on the field, if you have enough time, will shred his man coverage, and as long as you have a little bit of speed, you'll be able to outrun the defensive back for a 1-play score. Now, your next obvious question should be, what if they cover that super deep post because it's clearly money? And that's correct. If they do cover it, we will have to think of another alternative. But in this case, like versus a cover 3, you can safely throw this drag route as an easy check down, and it'll oftentimes give you 10+ yards. However, if they were to run a hard flat style of defense where the drag route is covered and let's say the deep post is being usered, what you will notice is that you're able to throw the short corner route right under the outside third, and you'll be able to get that every single time for an easy 15 yards. And that's why switch wide receiver drag is a fantastic money play. The next play we're going to cover is Durham in the bunch strong offset formation and found in the Bears, Jets, and Packers playbooks. Now to run Durham, just like the pros, you need to have the bunch on the wide side of the field. You need to put your running back on a streak, the tight end on a drag, and the middle bunch receiver on a post route. Now this will ensure that this attacks the best spacing on the field. Now versus a cover 3 defense, pretty much every single route will be open and you'll be able to throw it right in time. What you will see though is that the tight end is open on a drag. The running back streak is open in the middle of the field. The wheel route is open at the beginning of the play, and then of course the post that we threw is open much later in the play. So cover 3 and cover 4 will suffer that exact same way. So let me just run a cover 4 style of defense and show you that it actually suffers from the same problems. I'm gonna run the exact same setup, and what you will see is that we're throwing the exact same route because cover 4 is very similar to cover 3. In fact, it's pretty much replacing a hook curl with an inside quarter. And if they try to run man coverage on you, so let me set up a quick cover 2 man, you will notice that this play will still get wide open because the running back streak, the drag, and the post route are man beating routes. You can see the post is an easy dot, the drag is also open, and the running back streak would be open later in the play. The only defense that has a slight chance at stopping this is a cover 2. However, what you will notice is that most of the time in cover 2, you will still be able to throw the drag route for an easy dot and oftentimes a 10+ yard gain. The next play we're going to cover is shot fade cross in the tight doubles formation and found in the Steelers playbook. To run shot fade cross, just like cross wheels, you need to have the 2 wide receivers on the short side of the field. Then you need to streak the triangle receiver or the middle receiver on the 2 wide receiver side. Then you need to flat your tight end and put a streak on your running back so the route combo looks like this. Now this is super good against cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, and even man coverage defenses. Versus a cover 2 style of defense, you will see that this deep outside fade will be wide open for a 1-play touchdown above the cloud and outside the deep half. Versus a cover 3 style of defense, you can once again throw this outside fade for an easy 30-yard plus gain, sometimes a 1-play touchdown. Versus a cover 4 style of defense, the outside fade won't necessarily be open, but what you'll see is that the crosser will be wide open for an easy 25-yard gain. On top of that, if they are running a cover 4 defense, rest assured you could throw this running back streak right in front of the safety for an easy possession catch. And that's why shot fade cross is one of the best money plays in Madden. If you're enjoying the video so far, you should definitely check out my exclusive content on victoryformation.gg. Currently, we have my entire Steelers tight doubles offense that will nearly make you unstoppable, and my brand new heavy box dollar defense that is taking the community by storm due to its aggressive heavy blitzing techniques. We also have over 60 game-changing tips in the laboratory, and just 3 of these tips in the lab showcase the easiest way to beat man coverage, the best way to run the ball, and the best disengage defense in Madden 24. Unlock everything for only $9.95 and take an additional 15% off with code SWOLO. Now we're going to take a look at the play Flood in the bunch strong offset formation, which this play can only be found in the New York Jets playbook. To run bunch strong flood versus the most common defenses in the game, all you need to do is have the bunch on the wide side of the field. And what's so special about this play is this super deep corner route to the tight end that'll get over even 30-yard clouds, and this fade route that will pull outside thirds and outside quarters even when on the wide side of the field. So what you will notice against a defense, a cover 2 defense in particular, you will see that the deep corner route gets over the clouds and allows you to throw it for a 30+ yard gain. Now, of course, you'd think that a cover 3 defense may counter it, but you would be completely wrong. If you run a cover 3 defense versus this corner route will still be wide open, except it'll be right beneath the outside third. And your opponent might run cover 4 and it works the same way versus cover 4. Versus a man coverage defense like cover 1, you will see that this corner route will also beat man coverage. So when you snap the ball, you'll see that the corner route is once again wide open for an easy dot, and that's even Tyler Conklin, who has 83 speed. If your opponent decides to user this deep corner route, you don't even have to worry, because chances are this backside dig will be wide open for a check down option for you and a 10-yard gain. And on top of that, if they don't have a deep flat on the bunch side of the field, you can easily throw your flat for a big gain. So in general, what you'll notice is that the deep corner route is your primary read and will beat pretty much every defense in the game. And then you could look towards your backside dig or your flat route as secondary options. Now let's take a look at the play verticals in the gun bunch or bunch offset that can be found in any of the playbooks on screen. To set up bunch strong verticals, you have 2 options. You could put your running back on an in route as a check down option if the user overcommits towards the tight end or the crossing route. Your other option is to put him on a streak, and I'll show you why both options are really great in specific situations. In general though, the easier way to run it is to have your running back on an in route. So versus a cover 4 style of defense, you will see that the running back will be wide open if he is on an in route. So versus cover 4, it's best to have your running back on an in. On top of that, as a main read, you'll see that the tight end is also open for an easy, tight window possession catch against the hook curls in a cover 4. Even further on top of that, you will see that the crossing route is easy to throw in a tight window beneath the inside quarter and the outside quarter in a cover 4 drop. So in general, cover 4 drop is very weak against verticals. If they were to run a cover 2 style of defense, you may not want to run this in route because it'll run directly into the vert hook on the right side of the field. So instead, you can put a running back streak, and this will flood the middle of the field. So if the user decides to cover the crossing route, then the running back streak will be open despite there being a vert hook on that side of the field. If they decide to cover the running back, you will see that the crosser will be wide open. So when I snap this ball, what you will see is that this route, this running back streak, will be open against cover 2, and the crosser will be as well, as long as they don't user it. So versus a covers 2 style of defense, you will see that the crosser is also wide open for an easy dot, and that's part of the reason it's one of the most common plays in Madden. Versus a cover 3 style of defense, once again, you can just put your running back on an in or a streak, because this is by far the weakest defense you could run versus gun punch verticals. If I snap the ball, you will see that the crosser is open for an easy gain, and I'm going to go to instant replay and just show you all the routes that are getting open. So if I run this play here, you could see that the running back streak would bypass that hook curl and be open in this window, and you'll see that this tight end is also open for a pretty easy dot, and on top of that, this wheel route can be thrown right under the outside third that is looking at the tight end. And that's why verticals is one of the best money plays. The next play we're going to cover is PA boot shot in the trips tight end formation that can be found in the Bills, Panthers, Steelers, and run and gun playbooks. To run PA boot shot in the most effective way possible, it is best to have your trips to the wide side of the field. Then to set it up, all you're gonna do is put a streak on your innermost trips receiver and a drag on your outermost trips receiver. And versus a cover 3 defense, you will note that the triangle receiver will be wide open in the middle of the field for a huge gain and oftentimes a one-play score. On top of that, if your opponent is in a cover 2 style of defense, you will note that this same setup will allow you to throw the post in between the two safeties for a huge gain once again. On top of throwing your post versus cover 2, you can also throw your tight end corner route right over a cloud or hard flat for an easy dot against cover 2. Versus cover 4, you might think that this play struggles, but you'd actually be completely wrong. Versus a cover 4 style of defense, you can still throw this triangle post right under both inside quarters for a really easy dot. If your opponent runs a man coverage or a cover 0 style of defense, let's just set it up like so, you will see that this post route will still be wide open for a huge gain, even versus man coverage. You can see it's super easy to throw, and if they don't have over-the-top help, it's an easy touchdown. And that's why PA boot shot is a fantastic money play. Now we're going to show you one of the most overpowered money plays, and that's PATE scissors in the single back wing slot formation that can be found in any of the playbooks you see on screen. To run this play, you need to have your receivers to the wide side of the field, and the first thing that you should do is cancel the play action by putting your running back on a curl route every single time. Then you need to identify what side of the field you want to roll out to, because no matter what, if you roll out, this route will be open against every defense in the game. Cover 3, cover 2, cover 4, right? And man coverage. Because when we roll out, we make it near impossible to user this route. On top of that, no zone is able to cover these deep corners. So that's why we're doing it. Now, to roll out on this play, we need to pick which corner do we want to throw to. So for this example, I'm gonna throw to the tight end corner on the short side of the field. And to do this, all I'm gonna do is streak my outside most tight end. So if there is an outside third, it will get occupied by that streak. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is double team by pressing left bumper down on the right stick and navigate to the second inside most possible blitzing defender. Now it sounds complex, but what it basically means is what defender do you absolutely want to block and what defender do you want to come in free. In this case, we're completely fine with the right side slot corner coming in free, because we can simply just roll out right around him. We want him to come in, and when we roll out around him, you know that we can easily throw this corner out right over a cloud flat for an easy dot. And that even works versus a cover 3 style of defense. So if they were to run a cover 3 and we did this exact same setup, you would see that it's very easy for us to throw this corner out wide open for an easy dot, and it will be the same case versus cover 4. On top of that, if we wanted to throw it to the other side of the field, we don't have to worry either. We're just going to run the exact same setup, except we're going to streak the outside-most receiver on the wide side of the field, that's Gabe Davis, and then we're going to drag our outside-most tight end on the short side of the field. Then double team this defensive lineman, let the slot corner come free, roll out around him, and throw an easy dot and get a huge gain as long as your receiver gets the ball in bounds. And that's why this play is a super amazing money play, and you definitely want a mobile quarterback for it. Finally, I'm going to show you my personal favorite money play, PE wide receiver cross in the tight doubles formation that can be found in the Steelers, Jets, Seahawks, Bucks, and Titans playbooks. To set up PE wide receiver cross, you want your 2 wide receivers on the wide side of the field. This will ensure that the glitch I'm about to show you works perfectly. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our square receiver on a corner route. And I highly recommend you have Hot Route Master or Slot Apprentice for this particular route combo. Then we're going to put our tight end on a trail route and our circle receiver, or our running back side outside receiver, on a drag route. Now what you will notice is against a cover 3 and a cover 4 defense that the wheel route will pull the curl flat that allows us to throw this drag route very easily underneath. So let me show you it one more time exactly what happens to that curl flat. What will happen is every time someone has a curl flat on the field, the wheel route will pull it all the way downfield, which allows us to throw this drag route for an easy 15-yard gain. On top of that, versus a cover 3 and a cover 4 defense, you can also throw this corner out, because not only does this wheel distract the curl flat, but it also distracts the deep outside zones. So you can throw this corner out for an easy 30-yard gain. So that makes it so that the user must have to cover both the corner route and the drag, which is impossible. And if they were to run a cover 2 style of defense, trying to maybe have hard flats on the slot corner to stop are of course glitching. What you will see is that the corner route is actually deep enough where it gets over the cloud flat and we could still throw it for a 30-yard plus gain. And even so, if they decide to adjust even further and put a hard flat and man up the corner route, which beats man, you will see that you can throw the trail route and the drag early in the play. So I'm just going to show you that the corner route does indeed beat man, and you will see that it's an easy dot even when manned up. But on instant replay, what you will see is that the drag and the trail route are open in the middle of the field. You can see the drag is open. That is a defensive lineman blitzing. You would never cover him. And then, of course, the trail route is open right in this gigantic space in the field. So that's why PE wide receiver cross is my personal favorite money play, because it glitches out the defense and it beats pretty much every common defense in the game. Now that you know all of these money plays, you will instantly be a better and more dominant offensive Madden player. And if you're interested in a full scheme that includes a bunch of these money plays, you should definitely check out the video right here.